boys and girls, from me, Henry, and Nipper. Now if you like tonight's video, press the like button, ring the bell and subscribe. Remember, it costs you nothing to subscribe, and you will be the first to know when I, Henry, bring out a new video. Now before we begin, are we snuggled in? Tonight's story is called The 12 Dancing Princesses, the story of how a soldier marries a princess and becomes heir to the kingdom. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 12 beautiful daughters. They slept in 12 beds, all in one room, and when they went to bed, the doors were shut and locked up. But every morning, their shoes were found to be quite worn, although as if they'd been dancing all night, and yet nobody could find out how it happened or where they had been. Then the king made it known to all in the land that if the person who discovered the secret and found out where it was that the princesses dared to dance in the night, he should have one he liked for his wife, and should be king after his death. But whoever tried and did not succeed after 3 days and nights shall be put to death. Dear me. A king's son soon came. He was very well entertained, and in the evening he was taken to the chamber next to one where the princesses lay in their 12 beds. There he was, sat and watched when they were to dance, and in order that nothing might pass without his hearing, he left the door of his chamber left wide open. But the king soon fell asleep, and when he woke in the morning, he found that the princesses had all been dancing, for the soles of their shoes were full of holes. The same thing happened the second and the third night, so the king ordered his head to be cut off. After him came several others, but they all had the same luck, and all lost their lives in the same manner. Oh dear me. Now it chanced that an old soldier who had been wounded in battle and could fight no longer passed through the country where his king reigned, and he was travelling through a wood. He met an old woman who asked him where he was going. "I hardly know where I'm going, or what I have better things to do," said the soldier, "but I think I should very well find out more of where it is that the princesses dance. Then in time I might be king." "Well," said the old dame, "that is now a very hard task. Only take care not to drink any of the wine which one of the princesses will bring to you in the evening, and as soon as she leaves you pretend to be fast asleep." She then gave him a cloak and said, "As soon as you put on, you will become invisible, and you will then be able to follow the princesses wherever they go." When the soldier heard all this good counsel, he determined to try his luck. So he went to the king and said he was willing to undertake the task. He was very well received, as the others had been, and the king ordered fine royal robes to be given him. And when the evening came, he was led to an outer chamber. Just as he was going to lie down, the eldest of the princesses brought him a cup of wine, but the soldier threw it all away secretly, taking care not to drink a drop. Then he laid himself down on the bed, and in a little while began to snore very loudly as if he was fast asleep. When the 12 princesses heard this, they laughed heartily, and the eldest said, "This fellow too might have done a wiser thing than lose his life on the way." They then rose up and opened their drawers and boxes, took out all their fine clothes, and dressed themselves at the glass. They skipped and danced about as if they were eager to begin dancing, but the youngest said, "I don't know how it is. Why are you all so happy? I feel very uneasy. I'm sure some mischief will befall us." "You simpleton," said the eldest. "You're always afraid. You have forgotten how many kings' sons have already watched in vain. And as for this soldier, well, even if he had not given him his sleeping draught, he would have slept soundly enough." When they were all ready, they went and looked at the soldier, but he snored on and did not stir hand nor foot, so they thought they were quite safe, and the eldest went up to her own bed and clapped her hands. The bed sank into the floor and a trapdoor flew open. The soldier saw them going down through the trapdoor, one after another, the eldest leading the way, and thinking he had no time to lose, he jumped up and put on the cloak which the old woman had given him, and he followed them. But in the middle of the stairs he trod on a gown of the youngest princess, and she cried out to her sisters, "All is not right. Someone took hold of my gown." "You silly creature," said the eldest. "It is nothing but a nail in the wall." Then down they all went, and at the bottom found themselves in a most delightful grove of trees. All the leaves were silver and glittered and sparkled beautifully. The soldier wished to take away some token of the place, so he broke off a little branch, and then came a loud noise from the tree. Then the youngest daughter said again, "I'm sure all is not right. Did you not hear that noise? That never happened before." But the oldest daughter said, "It's only our prince, who was shouting for joy at our approach." Then they gave to another grove tree, where all the leaves were of gold, and afterwards to a third, where all the leaves were glittering diamonds. Then the soldier broke a branch from each and every time there were loud noises, which made the youngest sister tremble with fear. But the eldest still said it was only the prince, who were crying for joy. So that went on till they came to a great lake, and at the side of the lake there lay 12 little boats, with 12 handsome princes in them, who seemed to be waiting for the princesses. One of the princesses went into each boat, and the soldier stepped into the same boat with the youngest. And when they were rowing over the lake, the prince, who was in the boat with the youngest princess, and the soldier said, "I do not know why it is, but although I'm rowing with all my might, we do not get any faster as usual. I am quite tired. The boat seems very heavy today." "It's only the heat of the weather," said the princess. "I feel it's very warm too." To the other side of the lake stood the illuminated castle, from which came merry music and horns and trumpets. They all landed and went into the castle, and each prince danced with his princess, and the soldier, who was at this time invisible, danced with them too. And when any of the princesses had a cup of wine set by her, he drank it all up, so that when she put the cup to her mouth it was empty. At this too the youngest sister was terribly frightened, but the eldest always silenced her. They danced till 3 o'clock in the morning, then all their shoes were worn out, so they were obliged to leave. The princesses rowed themselves back over the lake, but this time the soldier placed himself in the boat with the eldest princess, and on the opposite shore they took leave of each other, the princesses promising to come again the following night. When they came to the stairs, the soldier ran up before the princesses and laid himself down as if and the 12 sisters slowly came up, very much tired. They heard him snoring in his bed, so they said, "Now all is quite safe." Then they undressed themselves, put away their fine clothes, pulled off their shoes and went to bed. In the morning, the soldier said nothing about what he had happened, but determined to see more of this strange adventure, and went again a second and third night, and everything happened just before the princesses danced each time. The shoes were worn to pieces. He then returned home. However, on the third night, the soldier carried away one of the golden cups as a token of where he had been. As soon as the time came when he was to declare the secret, he was taken before the king, with the 3 branches and the golden cups, and 12 princesses stood listening behind the door to hear what he had to say. When the king asked him, "Where do my 12 daughters dance that night?" he answered, "With 12 princesses in a castle underground." And he told them and the king all which had happened, and he showed them the branches and the golden cup which he had brought with him. The king then called the princesses and asked them whether what the soldier said was true. And when they saw that they had been discovered and that it was no use to deny what had happened, they confessed it all, and the king asked the soldier, "Which of them would you choose for your wife?" And he answered, "I'm not very young, so I will have the eldest." And they were married that very day, and the soldier was chosen to be the king's heir. Well, children, wasn't that a nice story? So nighty-night, children. Nighty-night, children. Nighty-night.